John Simon is from Lake Villa, Illinois, and a former trucker. He also acted courageously in exposing his former employer's illegal transportation practices. Mr. Simon is a graduate of Gray Lakes High School in Illinois.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is John Simon. I'm a single father, a homeowner, and I live in Illinois. I began working as a commercial truck driver in 1986. In November of 2004, I was hired to drive for a fuel hauling company called Sanken Trucking. I was to haul jet fuel in 4 states in regional, national, and international airports. My employer told me that I should not keep a daily driver's log. The DOT required. I was supposed to keep such a log to keep myself from getting in trouble. Regarding my on-duty time, my break time, I told my employer, Sanken Trucking, that it was wrong to keep me from filling out the DOT log. I could not get them to change their company policy. I called the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration in Springfield, Illinois. I was told that if I did not fill out these documents properly, that I would be held responsible. Sanken still refused to change their policy. I was told I needed to do things the way they wanted it done, how they wanted it done, and when they wanted it done. A few weeks later, I filed a written complaint with FMCSA and with OSHA. After being demoted to a 40% less paid job, and I was told by my boss that I was going to be put in a position that was the most dangerous job in the company, in January 2005, I was injured at work, received workers' compensation benefits. I was off work for about 6 weeks. In March 2005, the FMCSA audited my employer for compliance with DOT safety regulations. I tried to return to work when my doctor cleared me to return after my injuries healed. I reported back to work just as the DOT audit of my employer was being completed. I was fired the next day. On April 8th, I filed a complaint with OSHA because I believe I was fired for filing complaints with FMCSA and OSHA. OSHA dismissed my claim, and about 2 months later, I hired an attorney who requested a hearing before an administrative law judge from the Department of Labor. A hearing took place before Judge Leland of the Department of Labor in September 2005. On January 11, 2006, Judge Leland issued a recommended order ordering me back pay, other damages, and attorney's fees. He also ordered Sanken Trucking to immediately reinstate me. The law requires that the reinstatement is immediate. Even if an appeal is taken to the Department of Labor Administrative Review Board. I informed Sanken Trucking that I had received the order of reinstatement to my previous position and my previous rate of pay. I tried to return to work. They refused my reinstatement. Instead, they told me that I was going... I'm sorry, I skipped ahead. I'm a little nervous, if you could tell. They refused to reinstate me. Instead, they told me that I was going to be treated like a new employee at less pay and no benefits. My schedule was going to be changed in violation of Judge Leland's order. My attorney asked the Office of the Solicitor of Labor to bring a civil suit to enforce Judge Leland's order of reinstating me. On May 24, 2006, the Solicitor's Office filed a suit for an injunction forcing Sanken Trucking to reinstate me. During this process, I was without health insurance benefits that I received when I was with Sanken. On August 17th, the judge issued an injunction order to order Sanken Trucking to comply with Judge Leland's order, reinstating me to my former position at my former rate of pay. When I reported back to work, it appeared that Sanken Trucking was going to make it difficult as possible for me to work there. I chose to leave the trucking industry. I was tired of fighting. I already had another employment position which now offered me health insurance. The periods of unemployment since my discharge have imposed a terrible financial burden on me and my family. The periods when I was without health insurance, the long periods of unemployment and the loss of my job, the stress of the legal proceedings and waiting for the final decision for such a long time have caused me great emotional distress. I was recently released from my last employment position because of my experience with Sankin Trucking. My boss told me that he could not get past what had happened between Sankin Trucking and I, so he had to let me go. I was the hardest worker he had ever met, never missed a day, but I still had to leave. It takes...
Would you sum up?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
In the law, there's a part, the immediate reinstatement needs to be enforced. It took 9 months for that to be enforced, and that's just too long.